Now I'd like to invite our prayer chaplain, Annie Horson, to come forward to light the Christ candle and read the daily word.
I light the Christ candle to remind each and every one of us that we are the light of the world and that we came for a reason. And I ask that with the remembrance of this candle, you remember the reason that you're here. And the daily word for Sunday, April 7th, 2019. And if you're comfortable closing your eyes and just relaxing and listening to the words, feel free. Otherwise, keep your eyes open. Immersed in God's presence, I find strength and comfort. As he journeyed toward Jerusalem and the experience of crucifixion, Jesus faced challenges from those who rejected his teaching. Even his disciples would leave him in his moment of greatest need. Jesus found strength and comfort in the awareness of God's presence that was always with him. I am not alone because the Father is with me, Jesus said. When I experience challenges, I remember that, like Jesus, I am never alone. I am God's living expression. In prayer, I center my thought and feeling in my divine identity. God's presence fills my awareness. No external condition or circumstance can have power over me. God's awareness continues to grow within me as I return to my daily activities. And from Jeremiah 31:13, I will comfort them and give them gladness for sorrow.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever.
Today is the day of discovery. Today is the day of newness. Today is the day that we get to look into the eyes of somebody new. Today is the day where we find a crystal clear pond. And there is a gentle breeze. And in the breeze, you hear the whisper, "Come, meet someone new." And as you move towards this pond, you find a beautiful space where you can look in and see. You look in and you see, well, I just see me. But the gentle breeze and the whisper that it says is asking you to look deeper. And deeper. And in that confusion, the water gets cloudy. And there's confusion within your heart and mind. But the gentle breeze says, look deeper. Look deeper. I would like to introduce you to you, the real you, the divine you, the perfect you. And the water clears, and you begin to see a new expression of who and what you are. And you see droplets on the water. And you look up, but it is not raining. And there are more droplets. And you realize they are your tears. The tears of release before what you are looking at right now is the essence of the divine mind of a spirit. And around your face of God, all around is beautiful white shimmering lights. And your higher self is beckoning you still. Look deeper. Look deeper. And see who you truly are. And as your heart burst open with love, with the love that you felt at conception, the love at your actual birth, the innocence, the beauty, the purity. You now see it all. And the gentle breeze on the wind says, take it with you, with your God's eyes. Absorb it. Take this with you. Let it remain in your heart. Believe. Believe this is who you are. Today, you have met your higher self. And when you're ready and willing to bring with you back into this room the truth of who you are, slowly, very gently, bring yourself back to this place and time. I've been thinking for a few weeks, actually 3 weeks. I couldn't wait for this Sunday because I knew that this is what I wanted to say. And it's been percolating in me. And it was actually easy to do because it was written in mind. Spirit had this message, and Spirit wanted this message to come to all of you through me as a learning tool for myself. And what I believe is some people just try to avoid pain, try to be comfortable, and attempt to ward off complacency. And one of the things that I know about pain, not that we like it, not that it's necessary, but it does bring us to transformation in our life. So it's certainly doable to live a life pain-free, comfortable, but it's not very fulfilling. It's not adventurous, and it's called same thing, different day. Would you agree with me on that one? Yeah. But here's what you need to know. A loss of curiosity and imagination and adventure is a sad thing. Life requires surprises and fun and passion and discovery and friends and more. So speaking of friends, how many of you have a best friend, someone you can count on no matter what? How many of you? Pretty much everybody, right? Be it a partner, be it a husband, a wife, sister, brother, or a friend. I was thinking the other day, actually, no, I wasn't thinking, I was writing. It was yesterday, and I was journaling, and I wrote out who these friends were. You know, when they say you're lucky if you can count your friends on one hand, and I could count my friends on 2 hands plus 2. And it was so exciting to know that, and to know that I could, whatever I wanted, I could call someone and say, pick me up at the airport because this has happened and I need you now. And they would say, what time? That's a great friend. But here's a question for you. When push comes to shove, who must we depend on more than anyone else besides Divine Mind? Ourselves, absolutely, ourselves. You are correct. We must depend on ourselves. So here's another question. Can you? Can you depend on yourself? Now, this may seem like a very simple question, but for many it's not. A tougher question is even this. Do you like yourself, and would you be your own best friend? Tougher question when you really think about it. So today I would like to help each of you, as well as myself, to awaken wholeheartedly to show more loving kindness towards ourselves. Today it's all about me, or it's all about you today. We can find ways to hide ourselves with food and drugs and alcohol, relationships that hold us back. But there comes a time when when we're so tight in this bud of hiding our truth, then it's more uncomfortable for us, and we have to finally burst into bloom with the beauty that resides within each one of us. So here's another big question. How do we fall in love with ourselves? Not narcissistically, but from the realm of that higher self. Because to fall in love with yourself, that's the key to happiness in life. It's a gift that we can give to ourselves. And then you know that this is not acceptable. So when you love yourself more and someone treats you wrong, you recognizes, and this is what's not acceptable. When you love yourself, you don't let anybody should on you anymore. You don't let anyone take your power away from you anymore, and you don't let anyone put you down anymore. So right now, today, we're going to go on a journey to know ourselves better. So here's another question. Can you be gentle with yourself? Yeah, can you be gentle with yourself? I'm glad some of you can. I'm glad to hear that. This is good. This is good. But, you know, In our abundance class, which is pretty much finished, except we're going to do an encore because they just love it so much. But we started to do something in our abundance class about being gentle with ourselves, and it's this. It's like, oh, you're okay. Everybody do that. Come on, you can do it. Oh, you're okay. See? Come on, Monica. And yeah, see? How many of you can be that gentle with yourself? It's okay, baby. It's okay. That's being gentle with yourself. See, I believe, seriously, I believe that we give so much of ourselves to others than we're willing to give to ourselves. How many of you agree with that? It's so easy to give to somebody else. But here's a news flash for you. You deserve the love that you keep trying to give to everybody else. So how do we start? Let's look into the mirror of time. Look with your mind's eye. Are you willing to work on being in love with that person in the mirror who's been through so much and still standing? Are you willing to work with that person to know that person better? You see, if you're truly searching for the one person who will change your life, make your whole life whole and love you forever, look in the mirror. That's where it starts. It doesn't start out there. If only he, she would show up. If only the right job would show up. If only the right car, the right house, the right kid. That's a good one. But it doesn't start there. It starts with look in the mirror. And I can tell you, when I started doing mirror work a long, long time ago, and I probably said this before and I'll probably say it again, it's okay. But when I started working, and it was way, 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 way back with Louise Hay, and you had to have this little bit of mirror, this small mirror in your hand, and look into that mirror and say, I love you. And I will tell you, I was sobbing trying to do that because it's hard, because we're not taught to love ourselves. You know, my mother said self-praise stinks, and my grandmother, thank God, said it's better than no praise. But looking into the mirror and then going to a bigger mirror, how many of you yourselves or know people that won't look in a mirror? They kind of like side do them so they don't have to see their face. And of course, we don't even want to go there when there's that full-length mirror. But that's a whole different talk. So anyhow, if you're truly searching, it has to be to search within and find yourself. You know what? We give ourselves so little credit for all that we've been through and all that we've overcome. So when do we realize that we're enough? And there's nothing to prove to anyone. Nothing. Just self-acceptance of ourselves. See, the point is not trying to change ourselves. The point is to make friends with who we are right now, just as we are. This is the starting point. This is the starting day. We don't have to go back, but you don't know my story. Yeah, I do, because it's my story. Faces are different, times are different, but it's my story, it's your story, and it's your story. We just change the faces. Here is something that we don't think about. You know all those people that we don't like? The ones that we judge? The ones that we gossip about? Criticize? They, in essence, are part of you. Therefore, making friends with yourself is making friends with all of them too, because they're all a part of us. Every little thing, when you meet a person and you love them instantly, it's because they have something about you in them that you love. And you meet a person and you dislike them instantly, it's because there's something in them that's like me and I don't like that part of me, so therefore I don't like you. We have to accept that and move from it and start blessing. I don't really feel comfortable with you, and I really don't think I like you. There's a negative energy, but I bless you and let you go on your way. I don't carry it inward. And then, as I bless and let that person go away, what is it in that person? that is a trigger for me. That's how we get to know ourselves better. That's how we find out who we are. Because when you come to have that kind of honesty, greatness, good-heartedness, combined with clarity about yourself, there's no obstacle to finding loving kindness for others as well. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay, good. I can't impress upon you the need for healthy self-esteem and genuine love and respect for yourself. It's where it's all at. Eric Butterworth wrote this: "We may be successful without love, and we may even be healthy without love for a time, but we cannot be whole and complete and fulfilled without love. And it must begin with ourselves." Butterworth goes on to say this: "Dwell on the concept that life is lived from inside out. So many of us tend to want to go out there and find it, whatever it may be, when it all resides in here. Dwell on the concept that life is lived from the inside out, and that you are a dynamic center in the flow which God mind and you have built for all good things. For all good things. So you can be more, you can do more, you can have more, because you are completely linked to the transcendent flow of love. Love, love, love. So here's what I say. I say it's time to stop playing it safe. It's time that you forget about you've been hurt and you've had less desirable childhoods, and yes, you may love and lost and been betrayed, and guess what? We all know that because we've all been there at some point in our life. But it's yesterday's news, and it was no fun. I agree with you. Many of us have grown into adulthood without knowing how to love. Look around you. I remember when I was 16 years old, and I'll share this with you, and it was the first guy that broke my heart, and I took a bottle of aspirins, and my mother said to me, "Don't you know I love you?" And I said, "No, you never say you love me." We just want to be loved. We grew up not knowing, and those of you that grew up with that love, God bless you. You have no idea how blessed you are. But many of us haven't, and I don't mean just in here, I mean out in our world. But I want you to look around. Look around right now. Look around. Look around. Look around at everybody in here. Look around. Look around at everybody. You are so loved in this spiritual community. So create new families right here. Create new families that give love to those in here who are new, who are shy, who are hurting. Look around on Sundays and when we have coffee hour and before and after service, and reach out if it's only a smile. We have a child that comes now and then that you all know that we can't touch and won't look at you, but always say hello to her and speak her name. Because regardless of what her physical incapacities are, she needs our love. Bless this center every time you walk through the doors. You have a second chance for a happy life right here and right now among these souls who come together and give and receive love. You are the face of God. Claim it now. Claim your divine heritage. Don't walk away from it. Ask yourself this: does it serve me today to carry all this baggage around year after year after year, trying to fix it, understand it, get even with whomever? Does it serve you? No, it doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve the world. It does nothing for you. We must begin with transformative power of love for ourselves to release the impact of all that has hurt us and all that we have done maybe to others too. What are the three words? Forgiveness, gratitude, and love. forgiveness, gratitude, and love. Meditate on these words. Journal with them. Ask yourself this, what do they mean to you? What can they bring to you? Make a list of them. Maybe journal for a whole week just on the word forgiveness and just write down what it means or who you need to forgive. Just write it down. It doesn't have to be, I got to go buy a journal and I have to light candles and I have to do all this thing that I don't have the time. Grab a piece of paper and write down, what does forgiveness mean? Make a list of them. Forgiveness for whom? Gratitude for what? Love for all. This is about self-love. Don't have to have rituals. You can have an old loose leaf piece of paper if anyone knows what that even is anymore. It's the thing with the 3 holes in it and the lines. But do you know what I'm saying? Spirit wanted this message today. See, to practice self-love, you got to slow down and be willing to experience the silence, to be comfortable in your own skin for every moment. Yesterday, I had the best day of my life because it was a pajama day. It was a pajama day, and I didn't talk to anybody. No, we text. I didn't talk to Patty either. I might have, but almost nobody, almost nobody. You know what? And at 2 o'clock after I finished, or Spirit finished doing this, then I took a shower and did my hair and put on clean pajamas. And it's a great day. And the silence was beautiful. And then this morning when I was journaling, I was listening to the sound of silence. Do you know what that is? The sound of silence? It's this beautiful, almost like a hum, it's a sound. You can hear the sound of silence. Try that. Listen for the sound of silence. See, there's this creative urge within you for wholeness and fulfillment. Everything must find fulfillment or perish. You may still be on planet Earth, but you also may be the walking dead. My message today is wake up and live. You see the peoples whose eyes are just not focused. You see them in the grocery stores and in the malls. And you want to go hey, wake up, it's good, life is good. But see, whether you understand or not, the real you, there's a real you that exists in pure spirit. You are not humans having a spiritual experience. You are spirit having a human experience. And we talked about it a lot in the abundance class. And if that's what it is, let's have fun with it then. Let's take this humanity and look at it from a different perspective and go, oh my God, we all crack ourselves up. Is that not true? Sometimes we're so silly. We have fights over the silliest things. And then the phone rings and you get a call, an emergency, and that fight means nothing, absolutely nothing. You know what? Here's what I know. This is what I know about me. We're all just infants crying in the night. And I beseech you to pick up that baby and love him or her now. It is never too late to have a second childhood. It's never too late to be happy. It's time for renewal of our minds. Owning your own story and loving yourself throughout that process, that's the bravest thing that you can ever do. Own your own story. Don't tell it over and over and over to everybody that you meet. Don't play the victim card. Own your own story. And by using the tools that this New Thought teaching gives you, we step up and we practice these spiritual practices. And they sustain our moment-to-moment experience of life itself. Moment to moment. Itself with a capital I. Experience your life with itself. The thing itself. Divine mind. God. Whatever you want to call it. Every desire that you have and hold for better life hears you. Every desire, it is heard. And there's an echo that says, behold, I make all things new. Dr. Holmes, in the book called This Thing Called You, he writes, what thought has done, thought can undo. Does that make sense? What thought has done, thoughts are things, what we think is what we create. What thought has done, thought can undo. The mental patterns laying down in your subconscious mind throughout the ages can be consciously removed. They can be. The great thing within you, which is called will or choice, can decide your destiny. What are you choosing today? I want to walk with each one of you in the valley of contentment. I would like us to meet there and introduce each other to our new best friend. I'd like you to turn to somebody right now and introduce your new best friend. Just turn to somebody and introduce yourself. Your new best friend. Come on. Okay, bring it back. Isn't it fun to laugh, to share, to look at people and actually see them for who they are? From Charles Fillmore, he says, love in divine mind is the idea of universal unity. In expression, love is the power that joins and binds in divine harmony the universe and everything in it. So let us join from this moment on and speak one universal language, the language of love. Speak it for yourself first, and all will automatically echo with you. You know, I found this thing cleaning out, thank you all those who helped clean out the closet in my office last week. I found this thing, it's called the root of yourself. And if I could read it, I should have made it bigger. But here's what it says. Don't go away, come near. Don't be faithless, be faithful. Find the antidote in the venom. Come to the root of yourself. Molded of clay yet needed, from the substance of certainty, a guard at the treasury of holy light. Come, return to the root of yourself. Once you get hold of selfishness, you'll be dragged from your ego and freed from many traps. Come, return to the root of yourself. You are born from children of God's creation, but you have fixed your sight too low. How can you be happy? Come, return to the root of yourself. You are truly embedded in granite. How long will you pretend it's not true? We can see it in your eyes. Come to the root of yourself. You came here from the presence of that fine friend, a little drunk but gentle, stealing our hearts with that look of fire so full. So come, return to the root of yourself. And so ends the lesson, and so begins a very precious moment. And so it is.